Now, stress and anxiety have seemingly become pervasive issues in our fast-paced and demanding world. Now, the truth is that stress and anxiety have always been part of the human condition, but today they're much, much more focused on and discussed and highlighted, which I suppose for those looking for solutions is obviously a good thing. To struggle in isolation is not a very nice prospect. Now, many individuals grapple with their own feelings in the face of overwhelming stressors. So for a moment, let's explore the concept of understanding one's own feelings in the context of stress and anxiety. Adopting the perspective that emphasizes, let's say, personal agency and resilience. In other words, let's look at positive action as a means to a more peaceful mind, instead of simply being a victim to seemingly oppressive feelings. Instead, by recognizing the nature of stress and anxiety, and by adopting effective solutions, we can navigate those emotional challenges and cultivate inner strength. So let's ask the question, what exactly is the nature of stress and anxiety? If we boil stress and anxiety down to two basic component parts, the first is our perception of control. Now, essentially, a major driver of stress is a perceived lack of control given a certain set of circumstances. That is, we feel anxious when we feel we're in a situation where we lack control. Where we're perhaps lacking certain expertise or resources, or where we're exposed for some reason or other to something that exerts a certain control over us. Now, it's crucial to recognize that many external circumstances are beyond our control completely, but our perception of them and our response to them are within our own power. So by focusing on what we can control, that is our thoughts, our actions, our attitudes, we can lessen or we can even alleviate the burden of stress and anxiety. So perception of control is the first part. The second part relates to interpretation. That is, our emotional responses are closely tied to the interpretation and judgments that we place on those events. So by examining our thoughts and challenging irrational beliefs, we can gain clarity and perspective, reducing the intensity of the stress and anxiety. But how can we do this? How do we develop effective solutions? So let's talk about a couple of effective solutions. Now, the first is around practicing mindful awareness. And this involves cultivating present moment attention and non-judgmental awareness of our thoughts and emotions. So present moment attention is very important. And by observing our feelings without getting entangled in them, if we separate how we look at them from how we're actually reacting, we can develop a greater understanding of our internal landscape, and we can reduce the hold stress and anxiety have on us. Secondly, engaging in self-reflection allows us to explore the underlying causes and the triggers of stress and anxiety that relate specifically to us as individuals. Now, some people find that difficult, staring into the mirror and asking hard questions of ourselves. But self-reflection is an excellent method of self-understanding when done purposefully. Or, again, in the company of a therapist or even a really, really good friend who can be absolutely honest with you. Now, over time, by identifying recurring patterns, we can gain insight into our emotional responses, and we can develop strategies to mitigate their impact. Now, self-reflection also helps us understand our own values, our priorities, our limitations, and this allows for better decision-making and stress management. Next, I would say that by consciously challenging and reframing negative thoughts and irrational beliefs, we can reshape our perception of stressful situations. Okay? And this is an ongoing process, and it's called cognitive restructuring, where this enables us to adopt a more balanced and a more rational perspective on the events that are happening around us. And this will reduce the emotional burden associated with stress and anxiety. Now, obviously, the assistance, again, of a cognitive specialist or a therapist can be very, very useful here in order to keep us on a path that's, let's say, free from our own biases and the meanings that we can apply to all sorts of signals we receive from the world around us. Now, I mentioned resilience, and resilience is a word that's thrown around quite a bit, but what exactly does it mean? Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and adapt to challenges on an ongoing basis. It's your suit of armour, if you wish. Okay? So cultivating resilience involves fostering a growth mindset, developing healthy coping mechanisms, and nurturing social support networks so that you set yourself up for success in terms of stress, anxiety, and your emotional responses. It also involves reconciling ourselves with the fact that life will throw challenges at us from time to time, and we will all be seriously challenged at some stage during our lives. You can bet on that. But by embracing the lesser challenges on a daily basis, by embracing them, we experience them as opportunities for growth and learning, and we can strengthen our emotional well-being and better manage stress and anxiety. Now, this is a policy that we should actively adopt in our daily lives, to embrace the lesser challenges, and it's like practicing. You will build your resilience over time. Obviously, prioritizing self-care is essential, but there has to be a balance. So a balance must be struck here between actively engaging in what challenges us in our lives, while also ensuring that we guard ourselves from the excesses of stress. So engaging in activities that promote relaxation, such as exercise, mindfulness techniques and practices, adequate sleep, enjoyable hobbies, they can all significantly reduce stress levels. Implementing effective stress reduction techniques such as, let's say, deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, good time management, all of these can also enhance our emotional well-being, because they obviously can give us that sense of control and inner strength. Now, maintaining a positive outlook also can help counteract stress and anxiety by focusing on gratitude, cultivating optimism on a daily basis. This will enable us to shift our attention from problems to possibilities. And we can do this by celebrating the small victories, by practicing gratitude, and by nurturing positive relationships to create a more resilient and optimistic mindset. So to round off, in understanding your own feelings in the context of stress and anxiety will require a proactive approach, a purposeful approach that cultivates inner resilience. And by recognizing the role of personal agency in managing stress and anxiety, while also recognizing and accepting that the world can be a harsh place that will challenge us all from time to time, individuals can develop effective solutions using techniques such as mindful awareness, self-reflection, cognitive restructuring, building resilience purposefully, practicing self-care, and embracing optimism. These can all help navigate the challenges of stress and anxiety, fostering personal growth and well-being. So take positive action. Reclaim your precious mind from stress and anxiety in ways that suit you and your lifestyle. Talk soon.